Uh, 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 ah. Welcome to OSHIKATSU 101! Hooray! I'm really excited about this topic because it's something that I'm very passionate about. And I would say I have a lot of knowledge on because I've been like participating in Oshikatsu since I want to say 2021, which is about when Oshikatsu like started really blowing up. So, yeah, I'm really excited to share about Oshikatsu with everyone. This stream is a little different from my last ones because it's kind of made to be a stream, but kind of catered towards being a video. So I'm gonna be reading from a script, which is gonna help me stay on track. But I'm really excited to talk about Oshikatsu. Okay, time to get started. Okay. Welcome to Oshikatsu 101 presented by me, Reina von Chiffon. So have you ever loved a character, idol, band member, or fictional person so much that you had to collect things about them, talk about them constantly, or take pictures of their cute merch? If yes, congrats! You might already be doing Oshikatsu without even realizing it. Today, I'm breaking down Oshikatsu 101. What is Oshikatsu, what an oshi is, how people actually practice Oshikatsu, including ways to do it without spending a ton of money. This stream is beginner friendly, so if you've heard the word but weren't totally sure on what it meant, you are in the right place. Yay! You're gonna get educated on how to Oshikatsu! You're gonna be so smart and big brain. Okay, let's find out what Oshikatsu is. So, first things first, what is Oshikatsu? Oshikatsu is a Japanese term that roughly translates to supporting your favorite. If you were to translate it directly, it would mean push activity, because oshi means to push, and it originated from a idol term meaning like your top member inside of your heart is your oshi, because you're trying to push them up rankings, which is where the term oshi came from. And katsu is from the word katsudo, not katsudon, katsudo, which means activity. So like I was saying, Oshikatsu means supporting your favorite. It refers to activities fans do to celebrate and support their favorite character or person. That oshi can be a idol, band member, voice actor, a anime or game character, or basically anyone or anything that you really truly admire. I've seen people do Oshikatsu for like characters that people would think are silly, like SpongeBob, or like objects even, like trains, which I feel like is I've seen here and there, and of course VTubers are definitely a big part of Oshikatsu now. Like I was hinting before, Oshikatsu isn't just about buying stuff. It's about expressing love and connection in a way that's fun and meaningful to you. So Oshikatsu is like different for everyone. Some people really like focus on the merch collecting aspect. Some people just like looking at pictures of their oshi and they just are satisfied by that. And yeah, I'll talk more about what forms of Oshikatsu there are. Oshikatsu has been gaining popularity since I would say like 2020. It like started picking up steam around 2021, and now I would say it started maybe in 2023, where a lot of like idols, anime characters, VTubers, and like character brands like Sanrio and like fashion brands have started like creating merchandise to cater to Oshikatsu. So that could be like photo card holders, that could be like like the little acrylic stands with the like really long clear stick so it's easier for you to take pictures. And I'm kind of blanking on other examples, but yeah, a lot of just like existing IP has been really catering to Oshikatsu lately. So it's now's the time to get into Oshikatsu if you were like ever like on the fence about it. Okay, let's learn about what an oshi is. So, what exactly is an oshi? Like I said before, it could be literally anything. There's no rules aside from just like loving them unconditionally and obsessively. Sometimes to the point where your oshi might like run into controversy, and you're like, "Oh, it's okay. It's my oshi. I will let them be evil as a treat." Like I was saying before, your oshi is your favorite, the one that you root for the hardest, the one that gets you excited about them every time you see them. Some people have one oshi, multiple oshis, or like a rotating cast, depending on the fandom. There really are no rules. Your oshi is basically just anyone or any character that makes you happy. A lot of people refer to their most favorite oshi as their kami oshi, which means god oshi. So a lot of people will have like smaller oshis that they like, but they have one big oshi. I would say in my rotating cast of oshis, I would say my top ones right now are Mint Phantom is definitely my kami oshi. Aston Martin is one of my big oshis, and recently Nemimi Yane has been creeping up her way on my oshi rankings. So those are my oshis. Let's find about what examples of oshikatsu there are. Hooray! I found a picture of wodage, which is, I guess, would be under the umbrella of oshikatsu. If you don't know what wodage is, it's like the idol cheering dance that a lot of people that are into idols have been learning or have been doing for a really long time with the light sticks. Anyway, now let's talk about what oshikatsu actually looks like in real life. How can we support our oshi? Here are some common examples. Hooray! So, like I stated before, collecting merchandise is definitely a big part of oshikatsu. It's not the only form of oshikatsu, but I feel like when it comes to oshikatsu, that's like the big example. So merchandise can include photo cards or cheki, which are Polaroid pictures. Usually cheki are very coveted because they are one of a kind. There's acrylic stands that I feel like nowadays, as soon as a new anime come out, they just produce so much acrylic stands, acrylic keychains, acrylic anything. There's also plushies, which is probably my favorite form of merchandise to collect. Albums, if your oshi is music-based, posters, and keychains. So for a lot of fans, collecting merch feels like having a little piece of their oshi with them. Some people have even dedicated oshi shrines, or a shelf of merchandise of their oshi, or just even like a little corner or a part of a shelf. It doesn't have to be a whole entire shelf. Something important I want to mention was merchandise doesn't have to be always like the official like goods produced by the artist or character. Of course, I'm not saying like collect bootlegs. I'm saying like fan merch is always welcome in oshikatsu. Support your artists. Speaking of merchandise, Itasha and Ida bags are also a big way to show support for your oshi. If you did not know, an Itasha is basically a car that usually has a full vinyl wrap of your favorite character or oshi, which is quite an investment. Most people don't get to that point. It's also very flashy. Ida bags are decorated bags often covered in pins or charms or keychains of your oshi. Some can be very detailed and fancy, some are simple and small, and it can be made up of handmade goods or official or artist goods. It's usually looked down upon if you buy bootlegs of merchandise for your Ida bag. So try your best to source from either official outlets or buy secondhand or support artists if you're making the Ida bag, or just go DIY. As long as you're not stealing art, or if you're have the artist's permission, or if you use official art in your DIY activities. Did you know that ita bag translates to cringe bag? Ita means painful, which is often used to describe something that is cringe. It's also used in like the Lolita community, where if your cord is cringe or flashy, you'll get called ita, because it's painfully cringe. And like I slipped up and mentioned earlier, I also included itasha under the same umbrella because it's a very extreme way that you can show your love for your oshi. Alright, moving on. Oh no, I didn't mean to add a timer. I don't want to time myself. Timer, go away. Oh no. Minimize. Okay, whew. I was getting worried. I thought I was gonna be permanently timed. Okay. And another way you can support your oshi is watching them. That could be watching a stream, that could be watching a VOD, watching a music video they're in, or attending a live show or a event to support your oshi. Or just looking at a picture of them, admiring them. Oshikatsu doesn't have to be public, it can be something that you enjoy quietly too. So it doesn't always have to be flashy, it can just be in your own home, just like this guy who is containing his excitement for his oshi. Another big part of Oshikatsu is taking pictures of your oshi's merch. I included Nuidori, which is taking pictures of stuffed animals as the title, because I feel like that's a pretty big part of Oshikatsu if you are a plushie collector. And I would say taking picture of merch is probably like the biggest and in my opinion the cutest part of Oshikatsu. It can be like just part of your daily life, incorporated in your daily life. Like if you take up keychain or plushie of your oshi everywhere, it's easy to just pull them out and take a picture of them with whatever activity you're doing. A lot of people take pictures of their merchandise in like cafes, or if they're having dinner. If it's with a cheki and you're taking a picture of a cheki with food, sometimes some people like put their cheki in food and it's called chekiweshi or cheki food. If it's taking a picture of a plushie, it's called nuidori, which combines the word nuigurumi or plushie and dori, which means to take. Some people like to go on trips and take their oshi, not physically, sometimes they do, but like keychains or something of their oshi. Recently in Japan, like game centers have little corners that you can take pictures of your oshi like goods with, and it's really cute. Or it could just be inside of your house. It's like giving your oshi a photo shoot. It's really cute. As I have stated earlier, this is a really important part of Oshikatsu to keep in mind. Oshikatsu does not have to be expensive, even though like the big posts that you might see on Instagram and stuff is like a huge room just like covered top to bottom in oshi goods. It does not have to be expensive. You can just like do DIY or use materials that are secondhand for Oshikatsu. And social media really like kind of puts the pressure that like you have to have everything of your oshi or your fake fan, or like you have to have all the merch, all the rare items, or you have to have like a really expensive display. But that's not true, because like Oshikatsu is just about the love you feel for your oshi, and I feel like the more creative you are, the more fulfilling it is. And I recently found that out because I would just like pour a lot of money in my oshis, and of course like I don't get much out of it except like material goods. But if I spend like a good time just like sitting down and working on like an ita bag or a craft related to my oshi, I feel like I have more satisfaction from it. And in the past I have gotten like good secondhand or used materials that are inexpensive for my oshikatsu activities. So I've like use stuff from just like regular craft stores, even thrift stores, and my favorite place to get ribbons is from Dollar Tree. But if you're lucky enough to live close to a Daiso, you should be able to find Oshikatsu goods for an affordable price. But I am not near a Daiso, so I usually have to source like Oshikatsu specific goods either online or if I'm visiting family in Japan. And DIY is such a huge aspect of Oshikatsu. Like making your own Ida bag inserts is always DIY. You can just print pictures and incorporate them into a craft, or like use it as like a photo card to decorate. You can always like decorate your room to fit your Oshi's activity or aesthetic, and you can just like use things around the house to participate in Oshikatsu. It doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes I see people doing chekimeshi at like Waffle House, so you don't have to go to a fancy cafe. You can just do Oshikatsu at home. And you can like sew your own plushie if there's no plushies available of your Oshi. I feel like having an Oshi is like very motivating for you to like start new hobbies so you can dedicate more time to your Oshi. And being creative is, I feel like, very important because it's more fulfilling to make something that is uniquely yours instead of just chasing over just like whatever still exists. And it's like one of a kind merch, so yeah, DIY is very important. So now I'm gonna show everyone how to make a rosette using materials I got from Dollar Tree. But before I transition into that, remember that Oshikatsu is about joy. It is not about spending the most money you can on your Oshi. Take care of yourself before you buy 1 million acrylic stands. I have run into stupid money problems because I spent too much on my Oshis, but I am working on that. Okay, so I'm gonna transition over to my camera, so I'm gonna disappear for like 5 seconds. BRB. Okay. I am back with my things. So I can show you how to make a rosette for your Ita bag or your, I don't know, anything. Anything, you can use it for anything. It doesn't really have to be for an Ita bag, but that's what I'm going to be using it for. So I'm gonna make a rosette for Namimi. So I'm gonna take out my Namimi badge that I put in a bag. And then I'm gonna put the bag away from now. And now I will show you the materials that you will need. So I have a badge, hot glue, and a hot glue gun. Mine is fairly crusty and dusty because I got it from the art room. And some materials from either like Walmart, Dollar Tree, or Michael's. I got my stuff from the Dollar Tree. And some stuff I already had on hand. So you need a sheet of felt, extra pins, and ribbon. Some of the ribbon I already had on hand, so I only got 2 from the Dollar Tree. You can get ribbon from the floral section at Dollar Tree. So these 2 I got from Dollar Tree. This one I already had on hand. And this one I also already had on hand. It was from Joann's. RIP. Rest in peace. So, oh, and you also need a pair of scissors. I have a badge cover on my badge. I think I got this either from Daiso or maybe AliExpress. I don't know. Okay. So the very first thing you're gonna do is you need 2 pieces of felt. You need something to trace your felt. So I'm gonna use a Sharpie, 'cause that was what I had closest. So I'm gonna trace around my badge. So this is gonna be the base as well as the back of your rosette where you will place another pin on. So I'm tracing around. And I don't really care if I get ink on my badge cover. So you need 2 of these. So after you have it traced, you are going to cut it out. I found after Joann's died, Michael's, actually, not Michael's, that's who I was gonna shit on. Walmart has a pretty decent like crafting section and sewing section. Whereas I feel like Michael's is still, they got nothing. They're only really good for like home goods. And they're kind of expensive. And I know Walmart is kind of an evil corporation, but yeah, they do have what I need for sewing if I can't find it at a arts and craft thrift store. So I have 1 and then 2. And then I never personally measure out my ribbon. I just do it by eye. So you need a few layers of ribbon. You can have as many layers or as little layers as you want. I'm gonna start off with, so you're gonna start off with what's like nearest. I'm gonna trim this a little because I feel like you can see it with the badge on. And I'm not measuring anything because I'm lazy. Yeah, I think this is good. So I usually just make a loop and then see how big it will be on my piece of felt. So I gotta cut a lot of loops now. 1 loop. 2 loop. I'm gonna keep on cutting my loops. It's gonna take a while, but it's okay. 3 loop. That's more than 3. I've been spoiled with Winter Break 2.0. I did not have to go to work at all this week because of the cold weather as well as the snow. So I feel like I've been very bored despite having a lot to do during this week. But I'm excited to go to Costco on Sunday. I've been thinking about it all week. I was gonna go earlier in the week, but I decided to wait on it. It appears that Reina was frozen for a bit. I feel like it's probably because my mic is blocking, but oh well. And also I'm like looking down, so I feel like the camera's not catching. I'm gonna keep on trimming. There we go. Okay. And now it's time to burn your fingers with hot glue, because you're gonna be touching the glue a bit. Okay. So usually I put a little dot in the middle, fold, and I'm careful not to touch it, but I'll probably end up touching it, and then I'll put another dot on the top where it's gonna touch the felt. And I feel like my loops were a little too big, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep on adding my loops. I'm gonna keep on looping it. When in doubt, just keep on looping it. And I've run out of glue. And I'm dropping my ribbons, but that's okay. Well, I don't know. Is it okay? Yeah, I feel like I made my loops a little too long. That's okay. That's what I get for not measuring. And I'm gonna glue a bit near the edge so it doesn't bounce up as much. There's also this like ruffling technique that some people do with their rosettes. I have no clue how to do it. I tried many times in the past, but IDK how to do it. So we're just gonna be looping it. I found this like floral arrangement stand at Dollar Tree that I feel like you could use as a like a pen light stand. I think I took a picture, but I didn't include it. And now I am getting glue all over my hands. I hope it is worth it, Nemi Miyane. Oh, I should probably hot glue the ribbon piece that fell off since I don't have super glue. I feel like super glue would be better. But that's okay. I have no clue. Oh, hello, Hot Tungsten. Thank you. I got the badge from her meet and greet. And I'm making a rosette to go with it. And also, thank you, Gray, for saying that you're gonna make a Reina Ida bag. That warms my heart. That makes me very happy. I am currently making a Nemimi rosette to go with my Nemimi badge for my Nemimi bag that I am working on. And I think it's gonna take me a while because there's so many loops and I'm on layer 1. I'm planning on having at least like 3 more layers. And I think it's looking okay so far. And I have glue all over my hands. Yeah, you could go the easy route and pay people, but I don't know if you were here for my Oshikatsu Yap lecture, but I said it's more fulfilling if you go the DIY route because you can put your own love and commitment in your oshikatsuing instead of just pouring money into it, which is also a valid way to oshikatsu, but I always like being cheap because I got my materials from the Dollar Tree. Okay, I think this is my first layer. I might add some in my empty spots. And my hands are covered in glue. But it's a necessary sacrifice, is what I'm telling myself. Let's see. So far it looks like this. It's a little wonky, but not too bad considering I haven't made a rosette in probably like 5 years, because the last time I made one, it was for a Live Live Eat a Bag. And I should have brought that as an example, but I'm too lazy to get up, and now I'm picking glue off of my fingers. Which is not going well. Okay. One more loop, one more clear loop. Ow, I burned myself. Okay, there. Here. I'm so excited about the guests for Oshi Uplink. I'm happy that Densetsu EXE got announced. I hope Ashton will be one of the guests. I applied to have a panel there, but I have not heard back, so I don't know. I hope I get my panel. I feel like it'll be quite epic. And I'm excited to go to Toronto, to Scott Pilgrim Land once again. Because I have not been there since I was in high school. And now I am Unk. So Unk will get to experience Scott Pilgrim Land through the lens of being Scott Pilgrim years old and not Knives Chow years old. Okay. I think this is looking okay. I feel like I'm just adding more and more. It's gonna be thick on the back. Huh. I should have like planned it out, but I didn't. I'm just going by instinct and covering my hands in glue. I am also driving to Canada for Oshi Uplink. Be a road trip. I'm glad I'm taking my car so I can go see like the Scott Pilgrim landmarks. Okay, first layer done. Even though it is multiple layers. I'm gonna add some blue next. I know I said I was gonna add like 3 more layers, but I feel like I'm just gonna go with the light blue and then end off with this blue, like Cinderella blue ribbon and call it a day. Oh, it would have been cute if I added her ears on the rosette. Maybe I'll do another one with ouse ears. All right, time to cut some loops. Loop ASMR. It was quite satisfying being able to yap about Oshikatsu for I don't know how long I got to yap, but I feel like I never get to yap as much as I want whenever I'm teaching because my students' attention spans are so short. So my lessons are always condensed to like 5 minutes. I try not to go over 10 minutes because they'll be talking over me and not paying attention, even though they already aren't really paying attention. Okay, I'm gonna just use what I have right now and see how it will look. Yeah. This is a really pretty blue color. I'm trying to remember why I bought this ribbon. I don't remember why. So it definitely wasn't for this, because it was last year. Maybe I just looked into the future and I knew that I was going to be making a Nemimi rosette. I feel like I just got it because it was a pretty color. Oops, it's a little lopsided, but it's okay. I feel like I'm gonna be a little sparse with the blue ribbon. I feel like it looks better that way. It's just gonna be an accent to... I don't know where that thread came from. It's just gonna be an accent to the white. Hello, Pickler. You missed my lecture. I'm gonna throw things at you now. I am currently working on a Nemimi Yane rosette to go with my Nemimi badge that I got from Holiday Matsuri. So I am currently hot gluing loops of ribbon to a piece of felt, and it looks like this so far. I'm gonna take 5 minutes off of your recess for missing my lecture. JK, I don't have the ability to do that, and I don't think and I don't believe in taking recess away, so it goes against my teaching philosophy anyway. Okay. I think I'm gonna tear this one off. I hope it doesn't mess me up. I'm gonna add a longer one. And then after that, I'm gonna add the solid color. My hands are covered in glue. Ta-da! So far it would look like this. Don't mind my gluey hands. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah. Haha. Alright, time to start snipping away at the solid blue felt. And then I will finish it off and put it in my bag. And then end the stream. Yeah. Oops. Okay, time to snip. Time to snip. So I'm gonna make a loop. And I'm gonna see how it looks. That is a big loop. I thought I had smaller pieces of ribbon in this color, but it appears I do not. So I'm just gonna work with what I have. I don't know how many pieces I need to cut. I'm just gonna chop up. I'm gonna chop it up. Yes, this is a very Mimi blue. Which is perfect because I just had this ribbon on hand and I don't have any use for it aside from this. I'm really excited for the convention season that's coming up this year. I feel like big things in the VTubing sphere have been popping up for this year. Like there's FaceCon, that one Midwestern VTubing convention. I don't know when it is, but I think it's in Missouri. There's Oshi Uplink in Toronto, which I am very excited for, and I really hope like the VTuber guests play into Toronto slang, so I could call them all Gerberts. And then Offkai, which I'm really excited for because it's going to be my first year being an attendee. And then I'm excited to see what all goes down at Fest, even though I cannot attend because I have job. But I will be free during all of the other conventions because it's during summer break. Except for Oshi Uplink, I'm taking time off for that one. And I'm considering ASUN depending on what it's looking like for guests. Because the past 2 years they've had Idolmaster Seiyu as their guest, and I missed last year because I was going to Japan the next week, and I didn't have any friends that were going that I could bum off a room. So this year I have friends that I can bum a room off of, I think. I don't know. I feel like it really depends on who is going because Oshi Uplink is in that same month, and I think FaceCon is the next month. IDK. I'm gonna have no money, but it's okay. It's for having fun. Endless loops. I'm gonna like layer the loops kind of crossed onto each other. It'll make more sense once I start doing it. But trust the process. I did like, I want to say maybe I studied for like less than an hour on rigging work, which I've been practicing rigging this whole week, and it is quite hard and quite time consuming, but it is very fulfilling once things start moving. And hopefully I will have something rigged by the spring. And I need to pace myself because my automatic reaction is wanting to get something done right away, but I need to slow myself down even though I don't want to. Alright. Here goes the blue. And then I'm gonna kind of cross it over here. I feel like the first one I put down is sticking up too much. I'm gonna peel it. I'm gonna peel it like a banana. Okay. I'm just gonna take it off completely. It's hard, because I have a vision in mind. And I'm trying to achieve that vision. I am seeing things in my mind, and I'm trying to replicate what I am seeing in my mind in real life. I feel like it would have been easier if I had a reference image, but I'm just using my brain. There's so much glue on this thing. Goob. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Ouch. I'm gonna bring this whole thing up a little. Just a smidge. Yeah. Yes. Much better. My disgusting glue gun covered in fuzz. It's looking a little off balanced. Oh well. I'm just trusting the process, even though the process is processing, like my brain. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I'm gonna move this one over a bit. Yeah. I'm gonna move this whole thing if I can. Ugh, it looks disgusting with all the, I was gonna say cheese, but it's not cheese, with all of the glue. Oh, there's this blue loop is hiding. Oh, I understand now. It's got squished down. Okay. And there's so much glue. Ah! I'm not gonna add a tail to this rosette because I feel like the bag doesn't have room for one, and I don't have a lighter to prevent the ribbon from fraying. Okay, so I finished my rosette. It looks like this. Whee! Well, I didn't finish it because I have to add the felt piece on the back. So after you're all done adding your ribbon, we'll add the piece of felt that you cut on the back, and I have a box of safety pins I got from the Dollar Tree, and if you have more funds, I would suggest using better quality safety pins because the ones from Dollar Tree are pretty bad quality, but I wanted to keep true to my low budget Oshikatsu. There's so much glue pieces everywhere. But I'm gonna pick this one because it's a fairly big one. I see. Okay, so I opened it. Make sure you open it before you glue it down so you know which direction it will open. And then just take a piece of scrap ribbon, or I like making sure that it's extra secure, so I add glue and then ribbon on top and secure it with glue, and then more glue, and I burn my finger again. And then if you make a tail, you will just do that either like towards the middle when you're making a loop, and then have it come out. Hold on, I'll do an example. So you might just like tear off what's here and then cut a tail coming like here, but since I'm not making a tail, I'm just gonna keep it as is. It's gonna be like a place for my badge to rest on. So I'm gonna put the badge on, and some people have like a magnet on their rosette, so they don't have to pin it on. But here is the completed Nemimi badge rosette. thing. And I'm gonna stick it in my bag. And I'm trying to get glue pieces off my desk. Okay. I don't know where oh, never mind. So here's my bag. And for the time being, since I don't have much merch, this will just be the only thing in there. I'm gonna try to pin it on. The pin is sideways and it looks crusty, but it's okay because no one's gonna see the back. Yeah. I got it on there. And it's off center. So try again. And it was sideways. Okay. I think this looks fine. It's kind of sideways. Oh, the whole thing is kind of sideways. That's why. Yeah, I don't trust those magnets either. Urgh. Maybe. Instead of looking at the pin, I'm just gonna look how it looks from the front. And it keeps on bouncing off. So maybe Dollar Tree pins weren't the best option, but we worked with what we have. And then I'm gonna shove it in here. And there's my completed badge rosette. It takes up the whole entire the whole entire window, but that's okay. Anything for Ouse. Hello. Then I think I'll add ribbons on here to go with the bag, but I need a lighter to prevent the ribbon from fraying. And yeah, it is a perfect size. It's slightly off center, which is bothering me, but I'll just cope and deal with it. But thank you to everyone who stopped by on my stream. Yippee! I hope if you missed my lecture that you'll go back and watch the VOD on Oshikatsu 101 and fill your brain up with Oshikatsu knowledge. That would make me very happy because I worked hard on it and I think it is very informative. But I hope everyone has a good night or good day wherever you are. Yippee! Have a good weekend. Bye bye. Otsukare na. Okay.